Hi, I'm Abigail Waldman. I'm a dermatologist at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, and I'm an assistant professor at Harvard University. Like recently, every time I open my phone, there's some sort of advertisement showing the newest cream, some magical skin potion that's gonna save my skin and cure everything. And it makes you feel like you really have to spend a ton of money, and it's very confusing on what to pick. As a dermatologist, I just want to let you know that skincare really doesn't have to be so confusing and so expensive, that there are lots of things that you can get just at the drugstore, online, that do as good of a job as some of the very more expensive, well-advertised products. Good skincare is really about developing a routine, and there's no magic bullet that is going to come in and save the day. It's the routine of doing washing twice a day, using a retinoid if you're over the age of, let's say, 25 or 30 in order to prevent aging and for brown spots, as well as moisturize and sunscreen. And that's really it. It does not have to be complicated. You just have to do it consistently. So where are the areas that you can save money on some of these products? So first is you never want to spend a whole lot of money on face wash or makeup remover. Really, this is a product that you can get at the drugstore. Look for a cleanser labeled as a gentle cleanser. Generally, they come in a white bottle. And don't look for anything fancy. No added scrubs, nothing. This should be a simple, basic product. One bottle can usually last you a year, tends to be under $15. And then just keep it somewhere that's readily available, like in your bathroom, so that you just use it every day, ideally twice a day. If you do have acne-prone skin, then you may consider looking for a face wash that contains salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide. So the other area that you can save a lot of money in your skincare routine is moisturizer. Despite the hype of La Mer and other expensive products, you really do not need to spend a fortune on moisturizer. And in fact, I use a big tub of Aquaphor at night, and it probably costs like $15, $20, and one tub will last me a year. Now, not everyone loves the idea of putting grease on their face at night, and if that is the case, there are plenty of creams, again, over the counter, just at your local drugstore, that contain hyaluronic acid. And that will really work to keep the moisture in, and sometimes will do as good a job as some of these thicker petrolatum-based products. And for a morning moisturizer, you're looking for something that contains 30 SPF. That's it. You look for a moisturizer, look for sunscreen. Sometimes they'll be labeled as AM, meaning morning. And you look for that sunscreen content. So it should, again, contain at least 30 SPF. And this is going to be enough to protect your skin from sort of the day-to-day sunlight, what you get through the window when you're driving in your car, when you're walking to your car, especially in these nice New England winters where we're not getting a whole lot of sun. That amount of SPF just in your moisturizer is going to do the trick. Now, when it's summer, which is hard to think about right now when it's very gray outside here in Massachusetts, when it's summer, that is not going to be enough. And so moving on to other areas that you can save in your skincare routine is actually sunscreen. So the key for sunscreen when you're really going to be out in the sun for more than 20 minutes, when you're out golfing, you're out running, is to get a sunscreen that you like. Something that you're just going to wear every day, whether it's expensive or not. So if you're like me and you have a family and you go through sunscreen in the summer like water, you really do want to save money on sunscreen. And so one tip I have for saving money on sunscreen that you're going to be using all the time is to get the generic version of a kid's or a reef safe sunscreen. And the reason for that is often these will have chemical sunscreens, but they tend not to be the ones that are endocrine disruptors, so that they're good for the environment as well as for your health. And so that's a pretty simple way. So sometimes you can get, instead of getting the brand version of some of these kids sunscreens, my local supermarket actually has a kids sunscreen that's wonderful. It tends not to even have a lot of additives. So you're not putting a whole lot on your skin except for what's working for you. So you shouldn't spend much on moisturizer, face wash, makeup remover, sunscreen, So where should you splurge? So you want to splurge on the ingredients that are really doing some work for you. Those tend to be active ingredients. So if you came to me and said, Dr. Waldman, I do not like these brown spots. I have wrinkles. I don't like the texture of my skin. What you need is a retinoid. And a retinoid helps to turn over your skin. And you certainly can get cheaper versions of retinoids that are called retinol or adapalene, and those are over the counter and you can use them. They are not going to give you as much of an effect as the prescription strength retinoids, and that's just a fact. So generally, insurance is not going to pay for these products if you're not a teenager, despite the fact that lots of adults have acne and these retinoids are effective for acne. Somehow they tend not to get covered the same way they would if you were a teenager and you had acne. And if you pay out of pocket, they can actually be quite pricey. And I've seen it at like around the several hundred dollar range. So one trick to save money is that you can ask your physician to write the prescription through an online compounding pharmacy, and that can certainly save you a little bit of money. The other way is sometimes your dermatologist's office will actually carry these prescription strength products, and they can actually be a little bit cheaper to buy them in office than to get sort of the prescription strength through the pharmacy. So skincare does not have to be so complicated. You do not need to get so overwhelmed by the advertising that is just coming at us all the time. Every time you open your phone, you need this, this is gonna cure your problem. It can be basic, it can be simple, and you can save a lot of money by getting basic products over the counter for washing your face twice a day, gentle cleanser, remove your makeup. If you're a little more mature, you can start using a retinoid. That's where you splurge, is your active ingredients, and then you can save money on your moisturizer and your sunscreen. And so I hope that was helpful. Please leave comments, like this video, and subscribe if you want more information on how to have your best skin possible.